Great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be. We share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
For Jung, ego is the notion of yourself. It defines the center of your consciousness and relates you to the world. It is the I you experience as acting on the world around you. It has nothing to do, however, with the unconscious portion of the self. Now, suppose you're driving a car, you're on the left side of the road at the wheel. Meanwhile, you're not aware of the other side. In fact, you don't even recognize that you're on one side. You think you're in the middle. Most people drive their lives in this way, according to Jung. They think their ego is who they are. They go driving that way, and of course, the car is knocking people down on the other side of the road. How are you going to enable yourself to see that other side? Do you put another wheel up and have a friend drive you? Do you put a wheel in the middle? No, you have to know what's over there. You have to learn to see three-dimensionally. What Jung says is that you should play your role, knowing that you are not the role. This requires individuation, separating your ego, your image of yourself, from your social role.
Another slapper. Another banger. We gotta do it. Tonight's topic, man. It's one of those things. One of those topics. Get ready. Buckle your seat belt. I hope you guys understand that I bring topics before you that I myself have struggled with, is struggling with, or am currently struggling with, listen, you're not going to get Mr. Perfect out of me. You're not going to get Mr. I've figured it all out of me. I am an ongoing process that is unfolding before you, right? You know, the show itself is cathartic for me, right? You know how Big Mama and them used to say things like, you would complain and they would say, keep living. You'd be like, what kind of answer? You know what I mean? You complain about something, just keep living. Just keep living. You know, and things start to unfold and you start to understand, oh, okay, this has meaning now. This has value now. This show is like that for me. Many times I am confused about a great many things. And the show itself, through the research, through conversations and discussions with many of the people who listen to the show, and in particularly with Attila, from Houston, Texas, my niece, I go on this journey and we start, unraveling and untangling some of those internal knots. So this is why I push, join the discussion, or you'll hear me say, I started the conversation, you finish it, or, you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is a thing that we are doing together. And as the great Krishnamurti would say, if we're not doing it together, we're not doing it at all. So this week has been quite profound in terms of topics, and we're going to continue in that fashion. Today's topic, the 5 commandments of an unhealthy ego. The center, Krishnamurti calls it the center, right? Thou shalt never be upstaged. The ego's obsession with superiority. And I think this is important to discover. Subtopics like why fairness is just the ego's excuse for manipulation. I mean, if you know anything about being an adult in relationships, fairness is on a spectrum. It's on a pendulum that's always swinging, and if you're always fighting for fairness, you might be trying to manipulate a situation just so your ego can be assuaged. And I think it's very important that we understand that, right? Why fairness is just the ego's excuse for manipulation. The dangerous price of emotional self-preservation. Well, if you're doing it at all cost, irrespective of other people's feelings and boundaries, then emotionals, you can see the price of emotional self-preservation will be quite high. And we want people to jump in and call in. We definitely do. From all over the country. You already know how we do here. How the fear of rejection fuels a lifetime of inauthenticity. Why the ego chooses fear over faith every time. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Narcissism or survival. The ego's obsession with dominance. The toxic ego rules you don't even know you're following. 1-800-920-1580. Don't give more than you receive. The ego's transactional game plan. Do you know when your ego is unchecked and out of control? Let me read that again. Don't give more than you receive. The ego's transactional game plan. I want to know if you know someone who operates like that. I want to know if that someone was you at some point in time. I want to read that one again. That hit hard. Don't give more than you receive. the ego's transactional game plan. Let's go even deeper. Emotional walls or emotional weapons. The fear of vulnerability exposed. 1-800-920-1580. Get to me, get to me, get to me. We want to talk now. How fear-based thinking perpetuates trauma cycles in relationships. The need to be first. How competitive egos destroy love. Why faith is the ego's kryptonite in uncertain times. Ego wars. The psychological battle between fear and faith in modern relationships. Why is the ego addicted to control and certainty? How fear-based behaviors keep you stuck in toxic society or toxic cycles. Excuse me. Eastern philosophy versus the ego. Lessons on surrender and impermanence. Reframing fear as growth, the path to freedom from the ego. How to stop fear from profiting off your pain. How to stop fear from profiting and pimping your pain. Thou shalt never be upstaged. The ego's obsession with superiority. Why comparison is the ego's favorite weapon of self-sabotage. Come on! Is your ego unchecked? Do you even know what your ego is? How was your ego formed? Right? Formed. What is your ego's origin story? Right? Was the potter dysfunctional when modeling and molding your ego? I want to know. From rivalry to harmony, breaking free from competitive relationships. Humility as a superpower, overcoming the ego's quest for supreme dominance. Gratitude journaling, the antidote to ego's self-worth crisis. Fear versus faith, the silent killer of authentic connections. Do you see where I'm going here? Are you guys hip to what we're doing tonight? Get to your phone lines. Talk to your brothers tonight. Thou shalt never give more than is received. I must maximize my potential to receive and minimize my risk of being hurt by ensuring that I get my way under the guise of fairness. 1-800-920-1580. Is that true or false for you? Is that true or false for someone you've dated? What about this one? Thou shalt never reveal the inner workings of thine heart. I must remain closed enough to receive love and far away enough to exit quickly in the event that I am exposed. These are the commandments, the 5 commandments, right, of the ego. Number 3, thou shalt never risk rejection for the sake of authenticity. I must keep an eye on my persona and be ready to tailor it in a moment's notice. The 5 commandments of an unhealthy ego, right? Of a toxic ego. Thou shalt never indulge faith when fear is far more profitable. I must remain in a space of fear in order to keep the ego's perceived upper hand. Are you operating under the 5 commandments of an unhealthy ego? I want to know. Whew. Commandments of a healthy ego. I'll get to those later. I want to hear from you tonight. Is your ego out of control? Are you unchecked? Right? Does it always have to be your way? When we come forward, we will investigate further.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Rockefeller. We invite you to something epic, you know? Where we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness, sort of a desperation. Through that desperation, we come addicted, sort of like the fiends we accustomed to serving. Where we feel we have nothing to lose. So we offer you, well, we offer our lives. What do you bring to the table? One watching me closely. My is butter for the bread, they wanna toast me. I keep my head, both of them where they supposed to be. To get you sidetracked and clap from close feet. I don't sleep, I'm tired, I feel wired like codeine. These days a rubber gotta admire me from 4 fiends away. My pain, which shit was quick to see. From selling cane to brains was fried to a fricassee. Can't lie, at the time it never bothered me. At the bar, getting my thug on properly. My squad and me lack of respect for authority. Laughing hard, happy to be escaping poverty. However brief, I know this game got valleys and peaks. Expectation for dips.
If you look at victims of trauma, they have self-image issues. This is conserved within humanity. That if you take a child and you're emotionally abusive to them for years and years and years, they will adapt to that way of thinking. And one of the survival mechanisms that they adopt is actually that they start to think lowly of themselves. If I don't deserve love in the first place, it doesn't hurt to not get love. So what we've learned at HG is missing one huge component. Since the start of HG, we've steered clear of assertiveness and dominance. I know this is a touchy subject, but I honestly believe it must be addressed and, more importantly, taught. Dr. K has taught us about the ahamkar, the ego, and how to notice when it activates. The important takeaway here is that you should be in control of your ego and not the other way around. But I also see a huge issue here. I believe that in our community, including me, the majority of people have self-image issues. So in any scenario of conflict of interest, our intellect is going to rationalize that we should place our needs in second place so we can deal with our ego responses. I don't know exactly what that means, but this will lead to overly agreeableness, which is going to create a lot of problems in interpersonal relationships, because your bad self-image is going to make it impossible to make a strong case for yourself and stand your ground as you covertly feel that you don't deserve it / have any chance. Thus far, Dr. K has talked about the parent-child relationship and also the worker-workspace relationship, but what about the relationship between you and your peers, especially in group settings? I see a huge lack of education here. Also, I believe that noticing your ego and controlling it is important, yet learning how to build a healthy ego first should be the first goal. Analogous to this is the relationship between worldly and spiritual success. I think Dr. K has talked about this in one of his streams where he explained that trying for spiritual success can be escapism when you're basically fleeing from worldly successes. In the same way, I believe that controlling the ego...
Trying for spiritual success, the ego is still trying to achieve. On the spirituality side, there is no achievement for infinity. You can't get any bigger. You can't get any more expansive. The highest form of spiritual evolution is ineffable. There's no words for it. That would be God. The highest level of spiritual evolution. Do you see? So your ego is in effect when you say, you know what? I'm going to be spiritual. I'm going to go the spiritual route. And if you start seeing incremental movements up and your ego gets attached and say, see, we're in a better place. We're better than them. From we're in a better place than we were. This is just a short jump to we're better than them. Do you see? This is very heavy. The ego is clever, right? The ego is the source of the narcissist, the manipulator. No one is more clever and manipulative than our egos. The 5 commandments of an unhealthy ego. Unhealthy ego, commandment number 1, thou shalt never give more than is received. Have you ever given out of the kindness of your heart and your partner competes with you? They have to give something better, or they have you ever seen that? Right? Or they keep track and score of what you give, and they compare the quality of what you give versus the quality of what they've given. Right? Thou shalt never give more than is received. How does this mindset stem from early attachment wounds or unresolved ACEs? ACEs is an acronym for adverse childhood experiences. Can fairness, as dictated by the ego, lead to transactional relationships devoid of authentic connection? How might an individual's focus on minimizing risk reflect an internalized fear of scarcity or abandonment? See, you got a lot of people out here talking relationship, but they not living relationship. See, they're talking about transaction, right? Couched in relationship conversations. See, they're conversations about what they're going to get or what they deserve. a la our dear sister. I don't want to make it personal about it, but you've heard all of the sayings out there. You've seen it on Instagram and social media. People saying what they deserve and what they not gonna settle for, and creating lists of how you supposed to show up for what I deserve. And do you understand? We've said this before. The most substantive relationship of your life is the one you have with yourself. That relationship is subject to your command, and it is your job to go in and find out if there are underlying programs, the program from your parents, the program from your school, the program from your friends that have hijacked the motherboard where you control how you feel about you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whew. To what extent does childhood neglect contribute to an overactive give to get mentality in relationships? My goodness. How does this commandment perpetuate codependency by emphasizing self-preservation over mutuality? Right? We're in a dyad, so if we're in a dyadic relationship, things should be mutual, right? What did I say? You can't get mutual until you get neutral internally. Neutral, right? How does an unhealthy ego manipulate fairness to justify controlling behaviors in your relationship? You know how I was raised. You know where I came from. Man, when I come forward, the voice of reason, we cooking tonight. I need you on the phone line because I know you've dealt with it or you are this. When we come forward, we're going to talk about it a little bit more.
I'd rather die enormous than live dormant, that's how we on it. Live at the main event, I better trip them out, we on it. Presidential suites, my residential for the weekend. Confidentially speaking in code since I sent you beacon. The NXS rental, don't be fooled, my game is mental. We both out of town, dawg, what you trying to get into? Viva, Las Vegas, see ya later at the crab tables. Meet me by the one that starts a G-up. This way no fraud, Willie's present, gambling they re-up. And we can have a pleasant time sipping margaritas.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A closely watched gang-related RICO trial in Fulton County, Georgia is finally over. A jury on Tuesday acquitted the final 2 defendants in the long-running YSL trial for murder, gang, and racketeering charges. It marked the end of the longest trial in Georgia history. Data shows about 1/3 of pharmacies in the U.S. have shut down since 2010. A study published in the journal Health Affairs shows that Black and Latino neighborhoods got hit harder with closures than white neighborhoods. An Illinois appellate court is delaying the pretrial release of former Sangamon County deputy charged in the killing of Sonia Massey. The court agreed to delay Sean Grayson's release. Family Guy is coming back to Adult Swim Channel. The Seth MacFarlane series will return in 2025, kicking off the year with a 3-day marathon starting on January 1st. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Dine, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to earning and redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Medicare open enrollment is here, and it's a time you can make changes to your health coverage. Yet, watch out for enrollment and marketing scams. Remember, Medicare will neither call you nor solicit your business. Guard your card. Never give out your Medicare number to strangers. Unsolicited calls, door-to-door visits, and emails are prohibited. Take your time. Don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. Report scams to our California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Stop, niggas. Jigga. Feel me? Paul. Oh, your mother. Oh, yeah.
It's really just like selling smoke.
Rock.
See that rap? It's really just like selling smoke.
Yeah. We treat this rap just like handling the weight. What they want, we give it to them. What they abandon, we take. Hit a rapper with consignment, let them know what's at stake. Put us in the studio, let them cook up a cake. When it's hot, get them a money spot in every state. Like the Wiz of Camelot, the mom and pops is the gate. But first, we scope, advertise in every area. Let the fiends know, hey, we got some dope shit. Gon' need a middleman, so we look the radio. Let them test the product, give them a promo show. Just to freeze, not enough to catch a real vibe. Then we drop a maxi, ain't gon' charge them 2 for 5. Ain't tryna kill them at first, just building clientele. So when the album drops, the first weeks is on sale. But when demand grows, it's time to expand, yo. You don't want no garbage, Poppy, it's 10 grand for blow, for show.
Somehow the rap game reminds me of the crack game. See that rap? It's really just like selling smoke. Somehow the rap game reminds me of the crack game. See that rap? It's really just like selling smoke.
My question has already been answered.
That often happens.
And I think one day we are going to come here, and once we're all in presence, we won't have any questions for you.
That's true. That would be wonderful.
And you're going to be out of business.
Yes. Yes, that would be wonderful.
So, actually, my question was, could you elaborate on ego versus healthy self-esteem?
Ah, yes. Okay. Eventually, what you call healthy self-esteem, which is a wonderful thing, eventually that is not enough. And as a human being evolves, that healthy self-esteem is no longer satisfying as you grow older and is transcended. And what takes its place is healthy, no hyphen self-esteem. The self-esteem, of course, means that you are reasonably satisfied with who you are as a person and the achievements of the person, what the person can do, or what the person knows, or what the person possesses, and you compare what the person can do, abilities, what the person knows, knowledge, or what the person has in terms of possessions. You compare that with others, and you come out favorably. So either you can do more than somebody else or others, just feel better about yourself. I can do this, but they can't. I can, but you can't. Or you have more knowledge. Did you know that this in such and such is such and such a case? You didn't know that? Well, let me tell you. That feels good. You know more. These ignorant people, they don't know anything. Or you have more. How many bedrooms does your house have? 4? Well, we have 11. Do we have...
Listen. Come on, Eckhart Tolle. Don't do him. Pima tore him down. Pima Chodron was earlier. Then Eckhart Tolle coming. If you take away all of our possessions, then who are we? The ego got to hang his hat on something. I'm better than you because I have more. I'm better than you because I'm smarter. I'm better than you because I look better. Do you see? I'm more attractive, according to the European standards of attractiveness. I have real baby hair. You have maybe hair. You've pulled a lot from your primary source of hair down onto your forehead. That is maybe hair. I still have baby hair. What? What? The ego is running rampant in this society, and it manifests itself in our interpersonal relationships. And Eckhart Tolle is, and of course it might be funny, and he can be, he could be comical, but he's making a very powerful and poignant point here. We base who we are off of what we have, because the ego is wounded in the first place. There's worthiness wounds to hand out to everybody. There's, I'm insufficient, right? Everybody's suffering from imposter syndrome to some degree, right? The Sanskrit term for ego is very interesting. Do you remember back in the days, those old cartoons or old television shows, and a kid would be showing out, or a particular character would be showing out, and they go, oh, he's just a ham. He's just a ham. He's hamming it up. You guys remember that? Do you guys remember that old term? I'm a little elevated in age, I guess. I'm young old, right? But he's a ham, right? That used to be a term. Turns out it comes from the Sanskrit word, ahem, A-H-A-M, ahem, ahamkara. And it means the instrument of the spirit and ego. Aham is ego, right? Aham means ego, right? No, it's literally spelled A-H-A-M, aham. That's the Sanskrit term. Many of us become hams externally because we are really a mayonnaise sandwich internally. I know you don't like the metaphor, but that's what it is. The unhealthy ego commandment number 2, thou shalt never reveal the inner workings of thine heart. How does insecure attachment influences one's reluctance to be emotionally available? How does fear of exposure in relationships reflect the ego's attempt to maintain control? What are the long-term consequences of suppressing authentic emotions to avoid perceived weaknesses? Do you see how your ego is your pimp, manipulating you out of fear? How does trauma bonding inhibit an individual's ability to safely express emotional truths? When I come forward, I promise we're going to the phone lines. I want to know, how do you check your ego? Is your ego unchecked? And if it is, what are the consequences of an unchecked ego in your life? What are the consequences of an ego that is under your control? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, time to come up. Hold my own weight, fit my crown. Got to lock it down, and when they rush. Part 2.
Cocaine whiter now.
Operation is sweet.
Whole game tighter now.
Moving a brick a week.
Plus the price is down.
We the niggas to see.
Time to start to get rising now.
I don't know what's wrong with Bleak. It seems I'm like Keenan, picking up on the vibe. That he ain't too happy, I could just see it in his eyes. I don't know if it's the chicks or how we dividing the loot. Time to pay his ass a visit before he decide to get cute. Jumped out like a star with the flavors car. Matching the gator shirt, softer than my next door neighbors. These young niggas think I fell out the loop. Cause the last time they see me hopping out the coop, I hopped out in the soup.
Look at this nigga Jay frontin', trying to take my shine. I didn't say this verbally, just had some shit on my mind. Plus I'm puffing like an ounce, more than I used to puff. Taking advice from these niggas, but they ain't used to stuff. They had me thinking shit, I'm the one that moved the stuff. Why you drive around town in brand new coupes and stuff? Swear to God, they had me practically hating this.
So, you know, the Buddha is sometimes referred to as a great physician, a sort of great doctor, the great physician. And it's said that he looked out at sentient beings everywhere and saw that the main sickness was that we tried to protect ourselves from what it was to be human. And this is in traditional Buddhist language would be called ego cleaning.
Pause that. We go back to the top. Did you hear what she just said? That's Pema Chodron. The human is trying to protect himself from the things that make us human. Vulnerability makes us human. Vulnerable, wound, pain, hurt. So we fear hurting, right? We were hurt in childhood. So love now is equated to pain. So we try to control. But my God, the best part of being human is to be hurt. Because from hurt comes understanding, comes growth, comes evolution. You can't outgrow where you are without some semblance of pain. Where there is change, where there is growth, where there is evolution, there will be pain. But the fear of it puts us into control mode. Play it again.
So, you know, the Buddha is sometimes referred to as a great physician, a sort of great doctor, the great physician. And it's said that he looked out at sentient beings everywhere and saw that the main sickness was that we tried to protect ourselves from what it was to be human. And this is, in traditional Buddhist language, would be called ego clinging or ego grasping. But essentially, it's putting up walls around your heart, putting up walls around yourself in order to protect yourself from pain.
Stop it.
But in
just
so
pause it again. Have you ever been considered a demon because your spirit was a natural exorcist to their spirit? You're seen as the demon. You're happy. They compete against your happiness. You're doing well in life. They compete against you doing well in life. They try to minimize, marginalize, put it down because they're not where you are, because they covet. You come into their life representing an opportunity, a spiritual escalator, so to speak, but they reject it because of whatever they've been through, said that that kind of person won't really help you. That kind of person isn't real. That kind of person isn't authentic or true. You can't trust anybody. Are y'all hearing? Play. Continue.
From pain. But in so doing, it weakens you. In so doing, you become more afraid, less flexible, and less open to your life. And as you get older, things that the amount of terrors in your life become greater rather than lesser. And sometimes an image for the ego clinging, or this kind of protection that I think is a powerful one, is this story that someone told me about her parents in Florida who lived in a walled community. And they, in order to go in there, you had to go through gates, and there were guards, and nothing was allowed to come into this community that would cause problems, if that's possible. But in any case, that was the concept. And she said when her parents first moved there, they felt very secure. And this is the idea of the ego, is to make you feel secure and safe.
Oh, wait till you hear Krishnamurti after Pima. The ego can't make you safe. The ego is the hamster wheel. Oh, we got to keep up. Oh, they got something better. Oh, you can't look like you've fallen off. Oh, they're happier without you. Look at them. Oh, my goodness. You haven't found somebody. They found somebody immediately after you. Oh, that's the ego. Well, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Mike from Monterey, California. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yes, sir. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm alive and well, brother. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend? Mike, we can hear you, brother. You're live on air.
I had to take you off speakerphone.
Oh,
okay.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Perfect.
I thought it's a great topic, talking about egos and everything, because everybody do have an ego. It is, I believe, somewhat like a signature trait that everybody does inherit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a specified diagnosis that, that everybody should do on their own and be into actualization or realization to it. Because now the world is currently up to date about narcissism, but I do believe there's a lot few out there, like 30%, that don't know nothing about it and that don't pay attention to it because it doesn't affect them. It's not part of their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No.
So I was still learning, you know. I would like from you to question, you know, specifically, what do you think about what I just said?
I loved every bit of it. And you're right. The world is starting to get up to date, but you have to remember the social media component will also add a layer of confusion. My god sister was in here on Monday, and she talked about all of the various platforms, and everybody's talking about it, and the term is kind of saturated, but a lot of people are not talking about it from a psychological framework. They might be talking about it from an anecdotal framework, or somebody made a narcissist video, so I'm going to make a narcissist video. And they don't understand that, A, it's on a spectrum, B, everybody has narcissistic traits, but not everybody can be clinically diagnosed as having NPD. NPD is a rare diagnosis. It's not one that you get every other day. So there's so many, and then there's levels to it. There's covert narcissism, or covert, or what they call vulnerable narcissists, and then there's the more traditional one that is grandiose narcissist. Then there's the dark triad. I mean, it's really a rabbit hole to go down, and a lot of people love content creation more than actually having some accurate content to kind of help people and elevate their understanding. But you brought up great points. Hey, Mike, guess what you just did, though?
What did I do?
You brought Monterey, California in the building. Our first call from Monterey, California. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, Attila from Houston, Texas, gonna cook it up.
Myself as I gave him a 5, hugged him as if I loved him.
To the naked eye, it would have seemed we was the closest, but those that know us could see that something was about to go down.
Stay focused, I'm trying to concentrate, but he's like he's reading my mind, as if he could see through this fog and all this weed in my mind. Could he see I had plans on being the man? Ever since we first spoke and he put that G in my hand, and I gave it back to show him I was down for the cause as he approached.
What up, Blake?
And I paused. I done came up, put my life on the line.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wynn with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A closely watched gang-related RICO trial in full